Hey everyone, it's Arathon Hanzo, and today I'm here to join the bandwagon, the Marvel bandwagon. Magic announced yesterday that it has a collaboration planned with Marvel, which we won't even see cards from until 2025, but I think myself and a lot of the internet is just losing our minds over it. We're all going crazy out here just because they said the word Marvel and Magic in the same sentence. I thought I was pretty pumped for the Final Fantasy collab. I plan on like pulling hard until I get a serialized Squall card, if that's even a thing. I assume all the main characters are gonna have serialized cards in this. But if that works out, I'm gonna spend the rest of my retirement fund on Spider-Man. We'll be looking forward to that. So I'm already boggled over how this collab will work. I think Lord of the Rings set out a pretty good precedent where you reprint cards that were already pretty iconic and just give them, especially like these land cards in Lord of the Rings. So you reprint the different locations, they match an existing iconic Magic the Gathering card, and they just do the same thing, and that worked out pretty well. But can you do the same thing with Marvel? I know like we can talk about locations, so that would probably work out pretty well, but when it starts coming to different people or maybe items, some of the items could probably fall into it. I'm not sure if it works as well with specific heroes and villains because they're going to have to like fit into their specific scheme of powers, whether it's mutants with a specific power or Iron Man with a suit. Maybe Iron Man's the outlier here because you can make a bunch of artifacts and gear or vehicles based on his armor and stuff like that that could maybe match other vehicles from previously in the game with abilities and things like that. But like if Magneto doesn't do something, like maybe Magneto like can pull artifacts together and smash them, or Phyrexians since they got metal inside of them, so maybe there's some overlap there. But I think it's going to be more difficult to just make them a reprint basically. So they're going to have their own stuff. We've seen recently though with Magic as the releases ramp up how we're pretty much just in spoiler season all the time. Like we just got Doctor Who on the 13th, and we had the Lost Ixalan spoiler stream today. So it's not been that long on how long it takes in between all of these things. So, but like, what's it even going to be like with Marvel spoiler season? Like, if any little tidbit comes out, we're all going to make a video about it. We're all going to go like bulldozing down Reddit threads and everything else, trying to like infer every little possible thing we came from it. I don't think I have been interested in making up like nonsense stories about what may or may not happen like this much, like excited for it since like maybe Game of Thrones was hitting like the end of the book run and the TV show was going to go off on its own, and that went terribly. So maybe I'll just wait to hear what the actual facts are before I get too excited again. But I don't know, I'll probably be out here speculating with everybody else. uh And I guess like what's the chase card standard gonna be? I don't see how they don't go very small again. Like they probably won't do one of one things again. Like the One Ring, that makes perfect sense. There's one of them, make one serialized card. And I don't care that Wizards said they'll never do it again. They'll do it again as soon as it makes them a ton of money again. So like, how does that translate into this set, right? Like we know, like maybe heroes, maybe there's 500 serialized Avengers, maybe there's 500 Wolverines or stuff like that. What kind of items could they serialize out of this too? There's so many artifacts, weapons, Infinity Stones, things like that inside of Marvel. Like, it probably won't be just limited to people this time. Like I'm pretty sure like the majority of the chase cards or serialized cards have been characters outside of maybe the ring, and Soul Rings were serialized, and then the One Ring. But are we gonna see like maybe like a very limited amount of Infinity Gauntlets? You can get 10 Infinity Gauntlets. Could they go back to one of one on Infinity Stones? There's one very special copy of each Infinity Stone. But what about other rare items? Like there's the Darkhold. Could there be a one of one Darkhold? There's a very special one of those. Probably not as popular as the One Ring or as iconic, but something they could also do. Maybe Mandarin's 10 rings is just not a one of one, but a serialized option. Anything really, right? Like, there's so many things that you can pull out of Marvel. Like maybe there's like an old Spider-Man suit or Spider-Man's web slinger, like anything like that they could just kind of pull onto. And I assume this collab's not going to be one set either. I think maybe we'll get new stuff from time to time. So like they could just keep going and going on, right? They could keep piling onto it. And that like leads me to my next topic. Like, there's so many possibilities for chase cards. So what's the price going to be like? Like, we were at $4.50 a box on collector boosters for Lord of the Rings, and that wasn't much over retail. Like, I feel like Wizards knew what it was going to be. They hit the price right there, because even after all the pumping of like what people were willing to pay for the One Ring before the set even came out, that was the box price, and maybe like it inflated a little bit on TCG Player, like it was over 500. I don't know what the peak was. I'll have to look it up again. But like, you could walk into a store and buy boxes for 450 still, almost every place around me. So unless you're buying them on TCG Player, I don't think there was a whole lot of scalping going on in the public. You could get Lord of the Rings packs for MSRP almost all over the place, and the price was already there. So. Well, I guess it dipped a little bit when the One Ring was found. It went below 400 and then came back up again. So we'll see how this goes. But Marvel is way more popular than Lord of the Rings. And Lord of the Rings is huge, but it's not that huge. And Marvel's especially huge right now with the MCU. And so how does that affect box price? There's going to be people, way more people that have never played Magic, that are willing to invest in this just from a collectible standpoint. If they already collect different Marvel items, there's people maybe that they're going to play the game for the first time because of this, and they're going to start buying boxes. So what does that mean? Does that mean we're, going to see like retail price at $1,000 a box on a Marvel collector booster box? I don't think that's entirely unreasonable, depending on how many chase cards, the rarity of the chase cards, and just how many more people are going to be interested in buying this product. And I guess that's my big speculation here. I think it's going to be mega expensive. I think we're not ready to hear what they're actually going to price these things at. We thought they were crazy on set boosters and Commander Masters, and I think this is going to be crazier. I think it's not going to be hard to get packs, but I think packs are going to be expensive. So hopefully the value's there inside of them. But of course, we don't really know anything yet, so I'm just speculating. I'm excited about it. I hope you all are excited about it. This could be really fun. But thank you everyone for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time.